Hello there and welcome back. In this video, we're going to be talking about the loss that LSU sustained against the UCLA Bruins. This was a shocker. I think a lot of people in Louisiana thought that this LSU football team was going to prevail and show that they were ready for this year to compete. A lot of people gave them the pass last year. They went 5-5. They had their worst defensive season of all time, statistically speaking, and the team was just not looking good as a whole last year. Now you come into this year with a lot of hope. There's a couple of star players that you had your eye on. The defense was hopefully going to be better. They fired Bo Pelini, so they thought that overall that this team should be looking better as an entire unit. The offense was looking good. But there's really no excuse for this loss to UCLA. I think the defense was pretty bad overall. They could not stop the run to save them at all. The offense, Max Johnson, I know a lot of people are going to want to pin him because he is the quarterback, but that should not be the case. Max Johnson overall played pretty well. He was overwhelmed at times, though. That's not something that I want to go past. The UCLA Bruins brought a lot of unique pressures, a lot of different looks, a lot of different personnel groupings. They were mainly playing out of the nickel all game, but they showed a lot of erratic looks, and LSU was just not prepared for that. Now, I think the biggest downfall of the LSU offense was not the passing game. I don't really think that was the issue in this. I do believe that it was the rushing attack. So if we go ahead and take a look at this box score, and if you didn't get to watch the game, it was pretty tough to watch this running attack. Davis Price only rushed for 31 yards. Just starting there, that can't happen. This is the UCLA Bruins. They are improved, but you have to be much more efficient on the ground. Max Johnson, as well as you see that rushing total. Josh Williams had a carry for 2 yards. Kayshon Boutte did his thing. I think he's a superstar in the making. This is the best player on this roster, and it's really not close in my opinion. I shouldn't say that Derek Stingley is a superstar. Eli Ricks is a star, but Boutte is arguably the best player on this roster. Derek Stingley is a special talent, but especially on the offensive side of the ball. Boutte is going to be a first-round pick. He should be probably a top 15 pick when he comes out. He is that kind of talent. Dre Jenkins is another guy that I'm really excited about moving forward, but we have to talk about what's gone wrong with this team. Since that 2019 championship, there's been a lot of change. Obviously, on the offensive side of the ball, you lose Burrow, you lose Justin Jefferson, CEH, you lose Jamar Chase, Thad Moss. The entire team was basically gone as soon as that championship happened. A lot of them leaving for the NFL. That's going to cause some issues, but some of these elite programs are able to go ahead and win year after year, despite, losing a lot of talent to the draft. LSU's recruiting classes are generally in the top 5. This past year, I believe they were either 3 or 4. So they do get the talent back. Guys like Eli Ricks, guys like Derek Stingley, top tier recruits, but they just have not performed how they should have. Last year was an absolute nightmare. Yes, it was a pandemic year, but every single team had to go through some weird kind of things going on. So Coach O decides to overhaul the staff, and hopefully, people thought that was going to work. They come out as the 16th ranked team in the entire nation. They get a UCLA opponent who they've actually never played, which was really shocking to me. And this is like the second time they've been to California in years. So the LSU Tigers definitely set themselves up for having a nice win against a Chip Kelly team, but they did not come out to play. They couldn't stop the run. The defense was atrocious again. I'm not exactly sure what needs to change there because you're getting some of these top tier recruits. I'm not sure why the defense is not performing up to the standards that it should be. Let's go take a look at UCLA stat lines here. Thompson Robinson he only had to throw it 16 times to win this football game. 16 times to put up 38 points. You look at the running attack. I mean, really 17 or 11 carries for 117 yards. You were giving up 10.6 yards per attempt to their top back. I mean, granted, he played very well individually, but I just don't know how to even respond to that. the defense was atrocious up front. The front seven wasn't getting home. The gap control was brutal. So where did this all go wrong? I think Coach O's, he's done very, very well in the recruiting realm. I think that national championship definitely helped, but they've always been able to recruit top tier talent in the state of Louisiana and outside of the state of Louisiana. But Louisiana as a whole produces a lot of really good players, and they want to stay home. They want to stay in the great state. But I don't really know what the next step is for this team. I mean, Coach O has got to figure out something quick. I mean, losing Joe Brady to the NFL was a huge blow, in my opinion. I think he was one of the brilliant minds in college football. Now, even at that next level in the NFL, he's going to put on a display of, his creative genius like he showed at LSU. So Max Johnson, he's not the problem to me. I think the running game needs to be a lot better in this upcoming game. I think the defense has really got to figure things out, especially that front seven. I mean, you have two elite corners. This team defensively should not be this bad. I think against the run, you got to really shore up some things. So hopefully in the remainder of the schedule, they're able to make some adjustments. Definitely have to figure it out up front, especially against the run. That's something they've really struggled against last year. So hopefully LSU football can get back to its glory. However, right now, it's just not there. They were really, really hoping that they can propel themselves into being a top 10 team after a really disappointing year last year. But I don't think that's going to happen this year, unfortunately. This might be a slight overreaction to this UCLA game, but it's really tough to watch what this team is compared to where they were just 2 years ago. Thanks so much for tuning in. Subscribe to our channel if you are new. Also, leave a like if you did enjoy this video. Let me know in the comment section below what happened to this LSU team, what needs to change, and what can we expect in the future from this program. Thanks again for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next video.